Happy Friday. Happy Friday. We are on day 3 of Smashing Superwoman Syndrome. I love this topic. If you missed the first two videos, I will include a link to those. But we are talking about how women become superwomen. Why do we do this? And how do we get out of it? Getting out of it is a bit of a long game, but I'm giving you steps to start. So I want to talk about this a little bit more. We're on day 3. We already covered the first reason why women become superwomen, and that's just this need for control and having a grip on everything. There's a lot of reasons for that, and I gave you some homework to start taking steps to get out of that. But that created a new problem. Letting go of some of those things then highlights another problem. And this is why we often fail, ladies, because we don't understand how when we step into something and overcome something, it creates another problem. No one ever tells us that part. So when you let go of some of those things, it creates the new problem of now you're comparing yourself to all the other women who didn't let go of those things and they're seemingly doing more than you and better. So we talked about that yesterday. Today we're going to bring this kind of together. The main reason that this is all happening is an identity crisis. And I know, crisis, really? Like, can you call that a crisis? Now I'm just being dramatic. I know. But I want you to actually think about this because we as women often just respond to crisis. We respond in general. Chances are, like almost every woman that I meet, unless she has done a lot of work on this, her entire identity is based on her roles. What you do for a living. Sometimes it's what school you went to, whose mom you are. Like, you're known for certain things. And if I had you list out all of your roles and who you are to everyone else, you could fill a page very quickly. If I asked you, who are you without that piece of paper? Very few women can answer that question. The problem that that creates is that now your sense of your value, it's not even just identity, it's your value is external. Who you serve, how well you do it, how much you get done, what is your performance? You see, being Superwoman, that means you react and respond to whatever's being demanded of you. We don't really think about what the definition of Superwoman is, but when you think of that woman who is Superwoman, the one you're comparing yourself to, it's the one who's getting all the things done, right? And who seems to do it somewhat easily. So you, in your quest for being Superwoman, you're reacting to all the demands and then measuring yourself on how well you responded. Is that really what a hero is? You want to be a hero without frantically flying around? I'm going to read you the definition. Let me look at my screen here. This is Wikipedia, not like an official definition, but I liked it. But it's talking about a superhero and the superpowers that they have. Abilities beyond those of ordinary people, typically using their powers to help the world become a better place, or dedicating themselves to protecting the public and fighting crime. I am not suggesting that you stop what you're doing and start making a bunch of citizens arrest or becoming, the Karens of the neighborhood. We're not talking about that. Making the world a better place, protecting. This is external. Yes, it is. But the difference is the hero uses her superpower to do these things, not hearing what needs to be done and then doing it. A true superwoman taps into her superpowers. Do you know how to do that? I mean, honestly, where is your sense of value? I got my first lesson in this space many years ago, and it still took me a long time to put all the pieces together. But years ago, when I was in the finance world, I was in a job where my boss not only managed my department, but a number of other departments. So I was the head of my department, and he managed multiple department heads. And one of his departments was business development or mergers and acquisitions, but it was the business development department. I had been in a number of finance roles at this point in my career, but that is not something I knew how to do. And he approached me one day and said, you know, I just kind of want, as we career plan, I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you think you'd be interested in moving over to that other department? And my response was, I've never done mergers and acquisitions. I don't know how to do that. Like I couldn't see myself as a candidate because I was thinking of the tasks. That's a whole nother conversation about women and career progression and how we think we have to know how to do tasks. That's another day. But I said, I don't know how to do that. And without even hesitating, he said, yeah, but I see how you solve problems. So he was seeing one of my superpowers, knowing that when I had the superpower, I could apply it to a number of different scenarios. See, we get all hung up on the scenarios. So since then, I've done the work and I've identified my three main superpowers, one of which is the way I solve problems. Two is bringing order to chaos. And three is bringing out potential. That's the one that's the most fun for me. I can do it with organizations, with systems, and with people. I love doing it with people. So solving problems, bringing order to chaos, and bringing out potential. Those aren't things that you check off of a to-do list. So again, do you know what your superpowers are? And how do you identify them, and how do you make that your identity, which then detaches you from the outcome of how you're responding to everything? Part of this is your beliefs. Unless you're really aware of this, I'm going to go out on a limb here and just make an assumption, but I'm here to tell you, you believe that you belong to everyone else. You believe you belong to everyone else. And it's wrong for you to fight that. And if you disagree with me, I'm going to ask you, what part of your behavior proves I'm wrong? Are you acting like you belong to everyone else, or aren't you? I know we're getting kind of serious today. We tried to have a little fun the last couple of days, but this is serious. This is your life. Do you want to spend your whole life reacting and responding? Or do you want to actually create using your superpowers? That's the hero. And yes, you have people relying on you, and you have people looking up to you, and people that maybe you're raising, people maybe you're developing at work. But getting all the things done isn't heroic. Heroic is just being strong and decisive and balanced and modeling what that looks like. Using your superpowers, making them a priority, instead of being so focused on what you're applying your superpowers to. So again, this is a deeper exercise. Start with your homework from yesterday. So again, if you didn't see the other videos, walk through that. One of your homework items was to write down what good looks like and look for evidence that that is true for you. Go back to that, because that was probably revealing some things. What good looks like, you might not have written down out like how you did it. I did a really good job of making pancakes into shapes. Look at what you really, really wrote down. Like, what is underneath it? Is it using your superpower, or is it getting things done? And do you need to shift that? So maybe you're like, hey, I wrote down what good looks like, and it wasn't just getting a bunch of things done and folding the towels a certain way, but then how do you implement that? Maybe you don't even know what your superpowers are because you've been doing it the other way for so long. I've been a little more stern today because we need to be accountable for how we are using our superpowers and not squandering them on tasks. It's a different mindset. So, what I want you to do is go through this, go back to that exercise from yesterday, think about your sense of identity. I want you to do a couple things. One, I want you to do is do an I am exercise. Again, this is just a little exercise. This does not solve everything, but write down on a piece of paper, I am. You're going to fill in the blank. And you're going to do it 20 times. 20. You are worth spending however long it takes to come up with 20 things about yourself. That will help you start to reveal your superpower. And you might just put things down like, I am tired. It doesn't have to be these big, glorious, deep things, but just, I am what? You will start to see yourself as yourself instead of who you are to everyone else. And right now you're stuck in who you are to everyone else. And that's what makes you Superwoman. But again, I went through the definition of a true hero. And it's not doing everything that needs to be done. It's knowing what your superpowers are and using them for the greater good, at the risk of sounding cheesy. This is hard work, okay? This is not something that you just take a class, read a book, you figure it out. You have to kind of mull through this. So hear me out. I would really love to take the opportunity to just chat with you and help you identify what your superpowers are and what beliefs are they tied to and how do you detach those so that you're really using them for what you are meant for. I have free sessions on my calendar. They are called Meant for More strategy sessions. They are a chance for you to just help bounce this stuff off someone. I ask you leading questions and it will reveal some things that are maybe buried in there and they've been there a little too long and they need to come out. And it won't give you a completely new life, but it will give you clarity on very specific next steps that you can take. I am so lit up, you guys. When I see these on my calendar, because it's a self-scheduling app, when I see these on my calendar, I'm so excited when I have a day where I have these sessions because remember, one of my superpowers is bringing out potential. I want to do that for you. I only have 3 spots on my calendar next week, but the week after that, more spots open up. So I'm going to share my calendar link. And if you are fed up with being the superwoman that is the glue that holds everything together, that your whole identity is getting things done and then being tired, then I need to see you on my calendar. We need to fix this. We need to start. This is where you start. All right? All right. So I'm going to drop that link, and I'm also going to drop the link to the other videos so you have all of the homework, and I cannot wait to see you in the next couple of weeks whenever you get your spot and we can start finding your superpower and getting you launched. All right, you guys, it is Friday. It's not TGIF. I put a video out yesterday on that. You're not preparing to quit and check out and give up. Just be alive today. All right, I'll see you on my calendar soon. Have a great, great day.